Hey crypto peeps, hope you're doing well. Today's date is 20th of March 2024, and wow, what a crazy week we've had. We've gone from Bitcoin beating his all-time high several times, around about $73,000 in change, to now being, as of today on this time, being $63,000 in change. So as you can see here, it went up and then it's come down just a little bit over this time. But this is to be expected with people taking a little bit of profits, and we are approaching the Bitcoin halving in April, so that will affect this as well. But with that, let's have a look at the crypto bubbles here. Crypto bubbles over the past week show that most cryptos are down as of today, as you can see, down as much as, the average is around about 20% there, but some down, in the 30% mark here. So everything's down at the moment with just a few stragglers that are doing okay. So, everything's correcting right now, but things will change fast. With this, let's move on to the news. So the first piece of news here is on Bitcoinist, and a renowned economist says Bitcoin's price will reach $10 million on the back of this catastrophic event. Now, chief economist and global strategist Peter Schiff has made a startling prediction regarding Bitcoin, albeit with a condition. The popular economist has revealed that Bitcoin could potentially achieve a monumental price value of $10 million each if the United States dollar depreciates due to hyperinflation. In a recent X post, a crypto investor raised the question of Bitcoin potentially skyrocketing to $10 million each by 2031. Responding to the inquiry, Schiff acknowledged the possibility of such a scenario, however, only if the US dollar experienced a similar hyperinflation event as the German paper mark. This hypothetical scenario implies that Bitcoin's value would be seen as a hedge against currency devaluation. Schiff believes that presently Bitcoin has no tangible value beyond its positive sentiment amongst millions of crypto enthusiasts and investors. However, due to its decentralized nature and its overwhelming market cap of over $818 billion, Bitcoin is positioned to be a store of value in times of economic uncertainty. In a post on X, Schiff compared Bitcoin's value with that of gold. The financial strategist revealed that the Bitcoin investors have always maintained a steadfast belief in the cryptocurrency's ability to outperform gold. The analyst's view of Bitcoin was met with different levels of criticism from crypto investors and commenters. One crypto community member called out Schiff on his comparison of Bitcoin and gold. The crypto enthusiast revealed that back in 2011, when gold was worth $2,000 and Bitcoin was at $10, Schiff had predicted Bitcoin's decline, advocating for people to invest in gold because Bitcoin was supposedly going to zero. Now, 13 years later, gold remains at $2,000 and Bitcoin has surged to $40,000. Not much more to say on that one, is there? As with all the news, check out the links down below to read the news in full. We're just reading bites of information for you to hear today. My next piece of news here today is on Bazinga Crypto. $650 million worth of crypto liquidated in a single day. What happened? The price of Bitcoin plummeted below $63,000, triggering a widespread sell-off across the crypto market. Data revealed an outflow of over $640 million from Grayscale's spot Bitcoin ETF on March 18th, marking the largest day of outflow since its trading debut on January 11th. In contrast, Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF experienced inflows of approximately $5.9 billion. Consequently, there was a net outflow from spot Bitcoin ETFs totaling $154 million. In the last 24 hours, over 197,000 traders faced liquidation, resulting in total liquidations amounting to $654.48 million. Bitcoin longs are valued at $142 million, and ETH longs worth $126 million were liquidated too. The global cryptocurrency market cap now stands at $2.39 trillion, showing a 7.34% decrease in the past 24 hours. Have a look at that. Lots more information on that if that interests you. But yeah, big things happening in the market and some adjustments being made. And this is followed with more news on this. This is on CNBC. Crypto market shed $400 billion of value as Bitcoin sell-off intensifies after its all-time high. So it's pretty much the same story here, but as we go on to detail, Bitcoin slid further on Wednesday, dipping briefly below its $61,000 mark, after continuing a sell-off that began after the cryptocurrency hit its all-time high last week. Bitcoin has had a stellar run up and is up 124% in the last year. And the world's largest cryptocurrency hit a record high of just under $78,800 last week. The cryptocurrency price has been supported by the launch of all the spot ETFs in the US in January, as well as the upcoming halving, an event where written in Bitcoin's code where we see effectively that the supply of Bitcoin slows as the Bitcoin comes onto the digital market. The value of all digital coins in existence has plunged since Bitcoin's all-time high and was down $210 billion as of Wednesday morning. The entire cryptocurrency market has shed round about $400 billion of value since the Bitcoin all-time high, as other digital assets as Ether and Solana also fell sharply. Again, more information on that down below if that one interests you, but we know it's down at the moment and it's going to go up again soon. So, that's the cycle of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Moving on here, great article here with Robert Kiyosaki reveals what to buy before the biggest bubble in history goes bust. The notion of an everything bubble has been floating around for approximately a decade, and though most now link the term to the period between 2020 and 21, there certainly is a persistent feeling that the stock market has been doing a bit too well recently, especially given the impact of current high interest rates are supposed to have on prices. Indeed, 2024 already saw multiple major companies set significant milestones. For example, the semiconductor giant Nvidia recently surged above $2 trillion valuation, and the technology behemoth Microsoft became the world's largest company already in January. The major indices, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, have also been doing remarkably well and are up riding close to their all-time highs. These factors combined have on one hand offered investors an opportunity to achieve staggering return rates despite supposedly tightened conditions in the context of the Fed's battle against inflation. On the other hand, they have only deepened the fears that nearly every stock on the market is severely overvalued, the feeling that gave rise to the idea of the everything bubble in the first place. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, a prominent investor and author, is among the voices warning that the current state of the US stock market is nothing short of the biggest bubble in history. Indeed, already in January, he took a contrarian position to the forecast of major banks and other institutions, which largely predicted stormy seas in 2024, but with a generally positive yearly outcome. And he warned that the US is being steered towards war and depression. Along with being known for his gloomy predictions and his best-selling book, he's also for a long time been a strong advocate for certain commodities, gold and silver, and for the foremost cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Indeed, Kiyosaki's main recommendations for navigating the coming tempest is not to try to fight the Fed, no matter what you may think about his policies, but rather to invest in gold, silver, and Bitcoin. The advice is largely in line with the historic performance of gold and silver, both known for relative stability during times of crisis due to their reputation as stores of value. There's more information there. I'm not going to read all this. How bad would the crash be? It's looking like people are saying the crash is going to be big, it's going to be bold, and they've been saying this for a while now, but we all know it's unsustainable. So check that out if that interests you. The links are down below. Moving on to Cointelegraph here. Bitcoin has 6 months until the ETF liquidity crisis, says new analysis. Bitcoin ETFs are sucking up the Bitcoin available for purchase, and the tipping point in supply dynamics may come this year, one analyst says. Bitcoin faces a sell-off liquidity crisis by September if institutional inflows continue, an industry analyst says. In a thread on X on March 12th, founder and CEO of on-chain analytics firm CryptoQuant predicted a Bitcoin supply watershed within 6 months. Bitcoin as an institutional investment allocation is only just getting started. Industry participants have said as United States-based spot Bitcoin ETF traded funds are starting to gain momentum. Now holding nearly $30 billion, they have become the most successful ETF in launch history. Should the trend continue, however, a new phenomenon could arise where there will not be enough Bitcoin available to meet the demands. Bears can't win at this game until the spot Bitcoin ETF inflows stop, he summarized. He noted that ETFs alone put away more than 30,000 Bitcoin last week, and with 3 million Bitcoin in exchange and miner wallets, the odds of a supply-induced price shock became clear. He also goes on to say here, last week spot Bitcoin ETFs saw net inflows of plus 30k Bitcoin. Known entities like exchanges and miners hold around about 3 million Bitcoin, including a 1.5 million Bitcoin by US entities, he continued. Again, there's lots more information there. Very interesting. Within 6 months, we shall see. Be great for all of us if it does. Moving on here to my last piece of paper-based news here on the newspapers. This is on CoinDesk. And this is an opinion. The biggest bank heist in history is coming. And he talked about how regulators are permitting banks to tokenize financial assets such as bank deposits, US treasuries, and corporate debt. But they want institutions to use permissioned networks rather than decentralized blockchains that keep assets safe from hackers. So I'm not going to read all this. This is a lot of data in here for you to read, but it's very interesting to see what's happening. It's like tokenization of all assets is coming. Everyone's talking about this. This is the next big step for Bitcoin, for blockchain, and for cryptos, really, or everything out there, blockchain technology. But it looks like when they're talking about the financial institutions bypassing blockchain technology for doing this, which sounds very dodgy and open to hacking, as he said, and all kinds of problems. Read that article in full. It's a very long article there, definitely worth reading, but it looks like tokenization of every asset is coming, and it's unstoppable. With this, we're going to move on to some video-based news here. I have 3 or 4 for you to watch this week. My first is a favorite of mine. Subscribe to these guys. They put out stuff pretty much every day. Coin Bureau. This goes on for 19 minutes. General crypto news about Bitcoin, ETH price, CPI print, PLIF, WIF, and much more on that one. So just general information, but well worth a watch. The next one I have here is on the Modern Investor. Definitely worth a watch as well. This goes on for 42 minutes, and they talk about if you don't own Bitcoin, you might be in trouble because it's going parabolic. Again, 40 odd minutes, not 42 minutes, but definitely worth a watch to see what other people are talking about. My third piece of video-based news here is on Altcoin Daily, a favorite of mine. This one goes on for around about 12 minutes, and they talk about how it's 3 months till the Bitcoin price explodes to around about 150k. Will that happen? Time will tell, but very interesting, very good content. As I said, they put out daily content. It's well worth a watch. And my final video piece of news here is on Jamie Tree, and it goes on for 12 minutes, and they talk about it's a mathematical certainty that a total collapse is coming. So then have a look at that. That's very interesting as well from a different perspective. As you can see, people are talking about this collapse. Is it going to come? They've been talking about it for a while, but everything seems to be unsustainable with all these all-time highs. So that's it pretty much for the news bites this week. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. If you can click that link down below, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. That helps us immensely. Also, check us out on the Future Forecasting Group website for more information on all this kind of stuff. Have a safe week out there. As you can see, it's a bit strange out there with Bitcoin going up and down. But, these are patterns to be expected. Do your research. Be safe out there. Namaste. We'll see you next week.